What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thank goodness it's been a long wrestling season. I'm ready to get back into this. For those of y'all who have not subscribed, we've got a massive following now. I say massive. It's like 600 people, 600 subscribers. But we're growing at a massive clip. I'm gonna continue to keep putting those shorts out there, whether it's motivational, whether it's something that can help you along your way, whether it's something that I think should be brought to attention. Whatever it could be, I think it's important that we're always pressing forward, trying to be better human beings, as well as trying to solve problems in the culture. For those of you who have not met me, my name is Coach Kyle Grover. I am a coach. I am a teacher for I don't know how much longer, but I primarily talk about issues that go on in schools today, issues that go on with families, issues that deal with the family unit in general, how to get the most out of your children, how to motivate them, how to keep them going forward, some important lessons to learn along the way, and some things that parents you should probably look out for, such as woke schools, woke teachers, whatever the case may be, right? So, I've been gone for 3 months. 3 months, okay? That's how long the wrestling season is, okay? I've been gone for 3 months, y'all, and the world has just lost their ever-loving minds. You got Andrew Tate in jail. You've got Joe Biden acting like a fool. You've got Drag Queen Story Hour. You've got the banking crisis, which we'll be talking about next in a couple days, right? We've got all kinds of different content. We are talking about it all, y'all. We are talking about it all. Now, keep in mind, I am reporting this from articles that I've seen and using my knowledge as from what I understand from economics, from taking it in college, as well as political science, all of this different kinds of stuff that I took in college that I felt like would be a useful tool for me moving forward. Now, for those of y'all who have not yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share, get people onto this channel. Y'all, this is not designed to be a propaganda machine. It's not, okay? I know I put a lot of right-wing content out there, and sometimes I'll put out left-wing content too. But primarily the goal of this is to A, make schools better, B, help children and families, and then 3 is essentially just to make the world a better place than all around, right? And as you can see behind me, okay, I got the American flag, and then to my left I got my Yankees, and then to my right I got my 10th Mountain Division, because that's where I'm from, is upstate New York. Now, as you can see, I'm now a Bucked Up ambassador now. So for those of y'all who are fitness people, which I do put out shorts about that because I am also a coach. So there's that. If you guys have not yet, make sure that you check out the Linktree. There's plenty of stuff on there that you guys could check out, whether you're into affiliate marketing and the ability to kind of make your own money, or whether it's, you wanting to get in better shape. Therefore, I can give you a discount on top grade fitness supplements that could cut the corner on your fitness journey. But so let's kind of dive into some of the topics here. So our first topic is Andrew Tate. Now, I know as soon as I say that name, everybody flips out, and it's like the Yankees, right? Or the Lakers. You either love him or you hate him, right? But I'm going to give you my take on Tate in a little bit. But what I will tell you is that Tate, I do agree with a lot of what Tate says in the sense of men have to step up to the plate, right? Young men have to step up to the plate, and they have to make sure that they're always improving. They're always making themselves better. They're always squeezing the most out of this orange that we call life, to be able to, supply to provide for their family, to be in a leadership position, right? Now, that's not to say that women can't be in leadership positions. I'm not saying that, and I'm not taking that stance, and that's not even the topic that we're talking about. I'm particularly talking about men. The reason why men flock to Andrew Tate the way they have is primarily because there is no male figure to say for young men to gravitate towards. And in my estimation, the reason why they gravitate towards him is because a lot of these men grew up without idols, right? In a environment where 60+% of children grow up in a single parent household, men grow up wanting that icon, that Superman, that somebody that they can look forward to, no matter whether for good or for bad, right? You see men looking at gangsters as idols, and they end up becoming one, right? So that would be an example of a bad idol. Some use teachers and coaches as idols, right? But for a lot of people, they flocked to Tate, and the reason why is because a lot of what he says does have a lot of merit. Now, do I think it really, when it comes to Andrew Tate, you have to look through the bravado, all the extra, to see what he's actually saying, and what he is saying, it is true. That there is a crisis when it comes to masculinity, and you see it in the world today. The world today has gone as crazy as it has because men have taken a step back and allowed themselves to become feminized and not take their role as men in the world. So I understand that the Tate situation. We'll kind of dissect basically what happened. Essentially, he was accused of sex trafficking and all of this other stuff. He is now in a Romanian prison. They are detained in Romania, guys. The Romanian prisons are a little bit different, at least from what my reading has shown me, in the sense that with the Tate situation, they're essentially holding him. They hold you for at least 24 hours. And then if they don't find anything, then you're free to go, essentially. It's not like the American system where they can't detain you after a certain period of time because they don't have any evidence. You're presumed innocent until proven guilty, right? But in the Romanian system, initially, it seems like you're guilty until you're proven innocent. And by proven innocent, it essentially means that if there's no evidence found on you, then you're free to go, kind of thing. Now, again, I could be wrong on that. If any of you guys know more about it, please let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, so we're gonna kind of dissect actually what had happened, and the closest thing that I can see to what had actually happened, we'll watch off of the famous Fresh and Fit podcast. If you want to go through and watch the whole clip, you can if you want to. I'm not going to. I'm just kind of picking a particular piece out of this. So just kind of gear up real quick. We'll switch it over, and then okay, so basically what's happening is that these females went out with the Tate brothers, and come to find out that these are the women that eventually end up accusing the Tate brothers of They end up essentially accusing the Tate brothers of they essentially end up accusing the Tate brothers of sex trafficking, right? So basically, you have them getting out of the car, right? You have them getting out of the car. You have them taking stuff out that appears like either Andrew or Tristan ended up buying, right? They're dressed up to the nines. Obviously, you can see that they are not being trafficked in any way, shape, or form. If this is being trafficked, then I'm sorry to tell you. I'm just saying, if this is a form of being tracked, then I'm sorry, but let me be trafficked. Let me be trafficked, because they look like they have a haul of stuff that they are taking out of this, right? Now, again, Tate's lawyer has talked about the fact that they have basically zero evidence that they were pressured, wait for it, by the U.S. federal government to go after Tate. Now, why might that be? Okay, come to find out that the Romanian authorities are, I guess, very, very corrupt. Very, very corrupt. Now, again, take all of this with a grain of salt. This is basically from what I found on, a couple weeks worth of research. I'm sure more will come out later on, as it always does. But essentially, here's the thought behind this. Okay. My thought process behind this is essentially what you're going to end up seeing is the Tate brothers essentially being released. I think is going to be the end goal here. I think what you're going to end up seeing is that the Tate brothers are going to end up getting released. And they probably sue the Romanian authorities or sue these women. Now, I'm inclined to believe that the man is innocent, and here's the reason why. Okay, a man who is innocent typically does not do the things that Tate does. He walks around, understandably, knowing that he has a target on his back. Okay, now woke SJWs and people in the federal government do not like Tate because he's boisterous, because of how he says things, not his message, how he says things. Now, you can dissect that one of two ways. Either you can look at it like, well, that's kind of unfair, which it is, or two, you can look at it in the sense of, okay, what is really going on here? And I think it's the latter of the two. I think you need to be looking at it as, why did the federal government pressure the Romanian authorities to go after Tate in the first place? And I believe it's the message. Because who benefit? So when it comes to being, I guess, a detective, right? You have to find motive first. You have to find motive. You have to find, reasons, right, in order to piece things together. Who has the most to gain from Tate's demise, right? Who has the most to gain? Who has the most to gain from any of these podcasts like Fresh and Fit or any of these podcasts that basically look to inspire men and look to push men to be better than what they are right now? It would be the federal government, who is ultimately run by the woke left right now. But ultimately, the federal government looks to benefit out of this, because men who are weak, men who are unable to fight back, are men who are submissive. Men who are not willing to fight back are men that don't have guns, that don't want to fight, that will do everything other than resist, right? So that's my take on it. Now, again, more stuff will come out as information starts leaking like a faucet, like it always does, just like in the federal government. When there's always a scandal, eventually something will come out about it. Now, what is my take on Andrew Tate? I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a fanboy of Tate. I am a fan of what he's trying to do for young men, because as a coach, I see this all the time. I see young men with no purpose. I see men with the inability to put their head down and get to work, and the inability to be leaders, and all of this stuff, right? Because of a lack of fathers, because of a lack of male icons in the world. You know, you look at the 80s and the 90s, you had Magic Johnson, you had Kareem, you had all of the great football players coming out of the Bears and Pittsburgh Steelers and then eventually the Cowboys. But all of these guys were idols to young men, right? Michael Jordan, eventually Kobe, right? All of these idols were idols to primarily young men because that's who they strive to be like, right? Be like, fly like Jordan, right? And so I do agree with Tate's message. Now, how he delivers it, I find it entertaining because he's trying to push buttons. But at the same time, I can understand why he ruffles some feathers when it comes to some people. But a lot of what he says, his prescriptions as to the diagnosis is 100% correct of the stuff that goes on when it comes to young men. However, his solution, I'm not necessarily a fan of. As somebody who is a Christian myself and is always working on myself, I think that podcasts like Fresh and Fit and podcasts like Andrew Tate, like what Andrew Tate has prescribed, miss one key element. And a lot of what they say is true. It's all true. Men are biologically designed to have to want to be with multiple women. That's 100% true. That's absolutely true. But in society, religion also plays a role, right? Judeo-Christian values also come into play. So when you mix those two together, right, I do agree that you should have multiple streams of income. I believe that no matter who you are, because you don't want to. Anybody who sits there and says money can't buy you happiness has never been broke before. I believe that people should have multiple streams of income. Okay, they should be hard workers. They should suffer. They should struggle. They should strive to be the best, right? 2, you have to morally and spiritually, man, I can't talk today. Morally and spiritually constantly work on yourself and understand that you're never going to be perfect, right? It's always a stepping stone to be better, right? And everybody has their flaws, right? Joseph, Jesus' father, was an abuser. Noah was a drunk, right? All of these different things. You're never going to be perfect, right? But really, you want the good to always outweigh the bad, right? And then 3rd and final, I think that men have to stand up and be leaders. They have to stand up and grab life by the cojones and by the balls and be like, no, this is the way the world. I refuse to bend the knee, right? And that's ultimately what America's about. When the British told us, no, you're going to pay all these taxes, we basically told them to go kick rocks, right? We'll talk more about the Andrew Tate stuff the more that it kind of comes out, but I 100% agree that his prescriptions are true. I think them and Fresh and Fit are just missing the ball just a little bit in the sense of they're just missing the Judeo-Christian values part of it. But I 100% agree with everything that they say. The only issue is, there's been some things that I'm like, that's a little bit on the edge, but I about 99.9% agree on everything that they say. So that's my take on that. We're going to shift here, okay, and we're going to move on to something different. So we've talked about Tate. Now let's kind of switch it over here, and now we're going to be talking about, all right, so what in the hell happened at the Grammys? Okay, what in the actual F happened at the Grammys? Like, I don't know if you guys have known. I don't look like a particularly cultured guy by any stretch of the imagination. I don't look like the. Let's just say this: I don't look like the type of guy to sit there and watch the Grammys on a weeknight. Baseball, maybe. Football, hell yeah. Basketball, college, sure. The Grammys, I mean, I think that's on the bottom. I think I would rather hit my shin on a trailer hitch than watch it, but that's just my opinion. When it comes to the Grammys, right? A lot of that is reflective of what happened, right? What happened at the Grammys, and you start to see all of this crazy stuff go on with the Grammys, man. I mean, it is insane the stuff that was coming out in regards to the Sam Smith stuff, in regards to what had happened with not just Sam Smith, but my thought process is, all right, so when it comes to the Grammys, essentially you're talking about the Grammys are a reflection of what the culture values, right? You would think, right? The Grammys essentially personify the best that a civilization has to offer, or basically artistic awards, if you want to put it that way, right? And that was just simply not the case, right? And so we're gonna kind of watch what had happened, and I'm gonna diagnose exactly what is going on here. Okay. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but I'll try to get the audio fixed for the next episode. So Sam Smith, who is a really good artist, right? Recently came out as being non-binary and all this other stuff, right? Now, this is essential. This gives me creepy Biden vibes, and not even just that. This gives me satanic vibes up the wazoo. Okay, let's fast forward here just for a second. Okay, yeah, I'm not feeling it. So this is what you want your kids listening to, and this is what you want your kids following. Yeah. Okay. So we're in hell now, I guess, and we're locked in cages. Okay. Okay, so apparently he's the devil. So I'm going to kind of switch this back over here in just a second. Just kind of switch this over here, just so that you could see my initial reaction of rewatching it. Now, this is what I see. Okay, so you... So basically we're looking at hell, right? So essentially we're looking at Sam Smith essentially... This, I mean, to call it what it is, all right? This is a satanic ritual, essentially. This is just a satanic ritual. And, you know, these are the people that should be preaching to you about values, right? So they preach to us all the time about what values are and how important they are. Man, I wouldn't let these people 10 miles near my child, right? So once again, what can you say, man? What can you say? It's just every chance you get, you see decay in a culture that was once the greatest the world had ever seen. But my take on that is you heard it and you saw it before I even switched the camera over, right? Because you can't fake that. It's just, it was uncomfortable. It was like I shouldn't be watching this. You see the moral decay of the United States coming through when it comes to the Grammys. Like, they're not even hiding it anymore. Like, you're not helping these conspiracy theories when you're basically writing a song and basically worshiping the devil in hell, right? It's just nah. That's a major miss for me. Sorry, Sam Smith. Nah. I don't ever want to hear another. I don't ever want to hear another person that was at the Grammys that sat there and cheered. I don't want to hear a word from those people about values. Don't sit there and preach to me. Yeah, and then the following week we'll be talking about Drag Queen Story Hour, and then of course your lovely president. I say he's my president too. Look, I don't care who the president is. I just want him to do good. I want him to be the best. And this doddering old fool, okay, is not the best by any stretch of the imagination, right? This dude F's up on a daily basis. Okay? This dude's approval ratings in the gutters. He's basically destroyed the economy with a 9% inflation rate, which is down to 6 now, which is still terrible. You still have gas prices that are through the roof, right? You have a job market that's slowly starting to come down. It's not quite as hot anymore. You start to see used vehicles now stupid expensive. I went and looked online the other day because I'm looking for a new car. I ended up getting into an accident, right? And my car's totaled, so I got to look for a new car. Y'all, used cars that are over 100,000 miles, forget it. You're looking at like 7K or more for a used car that's in good shape with over 100,000 miles on it. If it has under 100,000 miles on it, you're looking at basically buying a brand new car. So it's insane, right? And then on top of that, you got the bank crisis going on. I say it's a crisis because it is an actual crisis. Don't listen to Biden when he sits there and says, "Oh, no, they're fine." Yeah. No, he's an idiot, and of course he's lying about that too. Oh, and just when you thought that all of that was good enough, he still, has documents leaking out of every orifice of the federal government like it's a hose after a hot football game. Okay, the dude is just a bumbling fool, man. He's just a bumbling fool. And then Jen Psaki, of course, and they're looking to possibly indict him for all of the crazy stuff that he's had going on and all of this other stuff. And you see him like bumbling over himself in the last interview and everything else. So it's just y'all, I can't even write half of this stuff. I can't. It's just it's just insane. But let me show y'all something that I happened to find earlier today. It was pretty funny.
Sending to Congress a comprehensive package that will enhance our underlying effort to accommodate the Russian oligarchs and make sure we take their ill-begotten gains. We're going to accommodate them. We're going to seize their yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains.
You notice that when he does this thing where he does this thing like when you were a kid in school, right, and you didn't study for the test. He does this thing where, and Kamala does it too. It shows that you're either refusing to read the teleprompter, you're refusing to prep before the speech, or you're just winging it, right? It's that thing when the teacher asks you a question about, so what do you think about this? And you're like, so what do I think about that? I think that just to help jog your memory until something comes there, right? It's you notice that he repeats himself a lot. I repeat myself a lot, but then again, I'm also not the president of the United States.
Kleptocracy. The guys who are the kleptocracy.
Oh my god. Oh, teleprompter KO. That is hilarious. Oh my god. I can't. Let's just in the creepy laugh afterwards. Let's be real here. The creepy laugh, I think, is what does it for me. But
He's a bad guy. I'm also sending to Congress
Corn Pop's a bad guy.
that will enhance our underlying effort to accommodate the Russian oligarchs and make sure we take their
Kleptocracy.
ill-begotten gains. We're going to accommodate them. We're going to seize their yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy.
Jesus, dude. You act like you had a stroke in the middle of the sentence. Holy cow. Right now, you can see the for those of y'all who are 90s kids, that right there is the face of a man whose processor is running, but it's probably going to break anytime soon now.
Kleptocracy. The guys who are the kleptocracy.
The dial-up just broke in his brain. Oh my god. Oh my god. In an official transcript later posted on the White House website, the word accommodate was stricken out to indicate Biden actually meant to say hold accountable. This administration is an absolute shit show. Just an absolute shit show. You can't even write it this way. But anyway, so I thought that would be a great segue to close out this this podcast today. I know it's been a little crazy in terms of kind of the transitions and all this other stuff. Typically, it's not like this. I'm just kind of getting back into the rhythm of things. Next episode, we will be talking about Drag Queen Story Hour, the issues involved with the teacher shortage, and why people are quitting, after a few years of teaching, and some of the things that go along with that. The following episode, we'll be talking about the banking crisis, and then finally, we will be doing some reaction videos. One of my favorite reaction videos that I really want to do is What is a Woman? The BLM documentary done by Candace Owens, and all of this other stuff. So please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Okay, reach out to me through the comments in this video or any of my other videos. make sure to, always continue working together. Always continue to tell the truth. Always continue to keep making yourself better. I'll see you guys next time. We're looking to start doing this at least twice a week, if not at least once a week. Stay tuned. I will see you guys next time. God bless. Stay safe out there. Keep working hard, and God bless America.